Here are my NFL Week 16 predictions. This week, there's a lot of games that can go either way. There's a lot of teams that are dealing with injuries. We've seen a lot of quarterback change over this past weekend or over this past week. So let's get straight into it. I mean, Thursday night football, we have the Chargers and the Broncos, two teams that are top in the AFC complete. Two teams who are going to who, in my opinion, have secured a playoff berth, and two teams who are in the same division, play each other twice a year, and know each other really well. You have Joe Burrow with a very or not Joe Burrow, sorry, Justin Herbert, who has played relatively decent, needs a number one receiver desperately, and then you have on the other side Bo Nix, who has been great, who's been arguably rookie of the year, but he's thrown a lot of interceptions these past couple of weeks, and so you look at two quarterbacks who I think defense wins this game. I think the takeaways, the turnovers battle will win this game, and I'm going to go with the Chargers to win this game. Next up, you have the Chiefs versus the Texans. I think the Texans are a little inconsistent. We don't know if Patrick is starting this week or not, but we do know Carson Wentz is the backup. Andy Reid loves Carson Wentz. He says that he can be an effective quarterback elsewhere, a starting quarterback in the NFL. And so, I mean, I personally don't think the Chiefs need to worry too much. I think Carson Wentz can go and win you a game or two if he has to, and arguably maybe just rest Patrick Mahomes this game. I think it'll be what it's going to be regardless. And I don't think they should stress out because it is December and you need to really have your starting quarterback going into the playoffs. But yeah, the Texans, they've showed signs of inconsistencies all season long. And I think to me, that's the biggest flaw that the Texans have. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs even with Patrick Mahomes. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers have been missing George Pickens for the past 2 weeks, and it's showed very much so on their offensive side of the football. Their defense needs to be effective. I think they beat the Ravens last time they played them. I think the Ravens get revenge and win this game on Saturday afternoon. The Falcons starting a new quarterback, Michael Penix, rookie. They are starting him this week, and I expect him to have a great game, especially against a very bad Giants team. They're trying to make a push to the playoffs, which is there's a lot of potential that can happen, and I think that they will happen. But yeah, Atlanta looks to beat the Giants this week because the Giants, we know they're not a good football team, and they're ready for the draft. They're ready to draft a quarterback. So next up, you have the Lions versus the Bears. You have two teams in the NFC North. NFC North, obviously. And the Lions have pretty much their entire defense is banged up. They have, I think, anywhere from 5 to 15 players on season-ending injuries, so that's not good. They picked up a couple more this past weekend. I think David Montgomery picked up a season-ending injury as well. So it's rough. It's definitely a hard time for the Detroit Lions right now. Is this going to put a damper on their Super Bowl potential? Probably. I think they keep dropping players by the week, and it's just they're gonna limp into the playoffs, and it's not gonna be a good sign. And I don't think it's Dan Campbell's fault. I think injuries have to definitely get a factor into this season this year. And so yeah, I have them beating the Bears. The Cardinals will play the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers have had the Cardinals number for years. I think the Chargers are still trying to compete and make it to the playoffs. The Panthers, obviously, they are not. And so I expect the Cardinals to finally squeak out a win against the Carolina Panthers. The Jets will play the Rams. Jets season's over. Rodgers, I know they got the big win last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who is one of the worst teams in the NFL. But I don't think that happens again. I think Rodgers needs to retire. I think he's pretty much done, and there's no one else to blame but Rodgers in that front office. And so give me the Rams to win this game, as they're also trying to make a playoff push inside of the NFC West. Next up, you have the Eagles versus the Commanders, a battle in the NFC East. Two teams who, in my opinion, will make the playoffs. Two teams who can't afford to lose, especially when it comes to playoff placement. But I think the Eagles will win this game. I think they're rolling right now. They're playing some really good football. And I think the Commanders, they've dipped a little bit. Definitely, they've lost their freshman high, in my opinion, with new rookie head coach Dan Quinn and a new rookie quarterback. So I definitely think they're starting to slip a little bit, and they need an offseason to really find their feet and figure out the identity of the team. But they're playing some really good football, and this game can go either way. But yeah, I have the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. The Browns are starting or benching Jameis Winston. I think they're gonna pack it in this season. And so I think this should be an easy win for the Bengals. Their defense has been historically bad. We know this. Their offense is fumbling football, having creating a lot of turnovers, but they need to bring those down. I think they can still make the playoffs, but I think they are pretty much done too. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game. The Titans versus the Colts. Titans have been an upset watch for the past couple recent weeks. But Mason Rudolph is projected to start for the Tennessee Titans over Will Levis this week. So I'm going to take the Colts to win this here. Hopefully Anthony Richardson can get it done. This is a game to me that was hard to call. I know that Geno Smith may be out for the Seattle Seahawks this week, so I'm going to pick for the Vikings. Vikings did play really well the other night on Monday Night Football. And so I expect them to keep it going. They're 12-2. They're trying to continue that. They're trying to get that first round bye. So give me the Vikings to win this game. Bills versus the Patriots. Bills are one of the best teams in the league. Patriots are ready to pack it in for the draft. Give me the Buffalo Bills to win this game, led by MVP Josh Allen. The Jaguars versus the Raiders. This is a battle of who wants the first round pick. I think the Jaguars are horrendous. I also think the Raiders are just as bad, but they still have this side of arrogance where they want to win football games. So give me the Raiders to win that game. This one was hard to call for me too. Are the Dolphins trying to pack it in? I don't know. I probably got this game wrong when picking San Francisco. They still have a chance to make the playoffs. Both of these two teams still have a chance to make the playoffs. So I don't think it's going to be a rollover game. But with injuries that the San Francisco 49ers are dealing with, they are definitely at a back end to win this game. Both of these two teams. But we'll have to wait and see what it looks like. I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers to win this game. The Buccaneers will play the Dallas Cowboys. Tampa Bay are rolling right now. They're they're the best team in the NFC East, or no, NFC South. And I expect them to beat the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, Dallas aren't great. We know that. And then you have the Saints versus the Packers. Our season is over. I'm ready for it to be over. Give me the Packers to win that game. Let me know what y'all think about these predictions. It's going to be a fun weekend in the NFL.